Facilities meeting to order. Can we take the roll, please?
Sure. Legislators Cody,
Here.
Tassone,
Here.
Kuhn,
Here.
Bush,
Here.
Irving.
Here.
5 present, 5 ayes.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Morning, Is there a motion to waive the reading and approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
I move.
Thank you, Mary. Second,
Second.
is that Linda? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Linda. Okay, first on the agenda, I believe I saw Brian Kelly on here. We have Parks coming in to talk about a donation of a vehicle.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
We're well. Hi,
Thank
Brian.
you.
Good, good. The sun is shining and the parks are busy. We're thrilled over here. So this resolution is in regard to the Friends of the Rosamond Gifford Zoo donating a 2012 Toyota RAV4 to the county for its use. The vehicle would be instrumental in the zoo being able to transport animals, go back and forth to Cornell for blood work, get food, and just everyday running. Right now at the zoo, in their vehicle fleet, they only have 3 vehicles. They're 3 3/4 pickup trucks. They're used for maintenance, plowing, work around the park, and only one is really roadworthy, not conducive to some of the transports that they have to do. So currently, right now, the way the zoo is doing this work is they're borrowing a van from Beaver Lake, which takes one of their vehicles out of commission as well. So the Friends actually have 2 of these vehicles and really only need 1 for their Zoo to You program. So they would like to donate 1 to us, and it would be a huge benefit to us and a great gesture on the Friends and working with the county. So it's really a win-win all around.
Great. The Friends come through again. They're always very
They're
helpful.
fantastic.
So the Zoo to You program, so they do have another vehicle that they can still use for that. I know that's like virtual right now, but hopefully that'll be back running sometime in the future.
Yeah, it is virtual right now, and it is a great program. But speaking
It
with Carrie, the director from the zoo, they really only need 1 vehicle for that, even in the highest demand of the program. So they're very comfortable with this.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a really fun program. It'll be nice when they can get that going, and great that they were able to keep that going virtually at least. Any questions on this from anyone? Okay.
The downside is there?
Doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
No downside there, right, Brian? This is just a donation.
No downside whatsoever. Anytime we can get a decent vehicle added to our fleet, we're graciously willing to accept.
Yeah, it doesn't even have that many miles on it.
Yeah, no,
32.
only 32,000.
Yeah, that's great. Okay,
I'll move it, Deb.
thank you, Linda. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Deb.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Okay, second, we have facilities to talk about another acceptance of some funds for solar lighting. So not sure who's here for that.
Archie, I'm here.
Archie, there you are.
Good morning, folks. I miss you. Don't get to see you.
Morning. I know.
Hi, Arch.
How are you? So yes, this is another grant that we've received in order to continue the solar lighting along the West Shore Trail of the Loop the Lake. As you know, we've done 3 of these so far. Those were ESD and SAM grants. This is a multimodal grant, which you guys are familiar with because it's typically a DOT granting, but in this case, it's going to be used for our solar lighting extension. So what we propose to do with this grant money is to continue the length of solar lighting around near exit 7, just outside of the WEPS big pump station there, where the DEC launch lighting ended, and continue that for 3/4 of a mile plus or minus towards Harbor Brook. The 500,000 gets us just under 3/4 of a mile of additional trail lighting. And it's consistent with the rest of the lighting that we've already put in place. So it matches, it's the same type of lighting, same look. And we've gotten to know pretty good the pricing of it. So we'd like to accept this and continue another 3/4 of a mile of it.
Great. So kind of picking up where we left off and moving on with moving on to the next phase. So that's where exactly? Oh, so that's over by the wet plant, the new.
No, so it's when I
No.
said the
DOT.
if you get off of 690 at exit 7 towards Salve,
Oh, down at that end. Okay.
there's just at the bottom of, instead of going up to the amphitheater, if you go towards the new New York State DEC launch, there's a
Right.
a building there that's a wet pump station, and the lighting ends just outside of that. We're going to continue that on towards Harbor Brook, which is towards the bridge that Honeywell put in, and this is actually putting lighting on the trail section that Honeywell actually installed.
Okay. Okay. I know where you're talking about right now. And I had in my mind the other end. Any questions on this from anyone? Okay, this is great. It's great to have that.
Deb, this is Mary Beth. Can I just add one thing?
Sure.
I think it's important to note that this is the third grant that we've received through Assemblyman Magnarelli for lights on the trail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. No, that is, no. Thank you to Assemblyman Magnarelli for this. No, that's great. Okay. If there's no other questions, is there a motion to move this?
I'll move it, Deb.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda. Second.
I'll second Mary Kuhn.
Thank you, Mary. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Could we do a vote for this?
Oops, sure.
Right. Legislators Cody,
Yes.
Tassone,
Yes.
Kuhn,
Yes.
Bush,
Yes.
Irvin,
Yes.
5 ayes, none opposed.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Archie.
Thank you very much, folks.
Okay, and now we are going to have an update on our libraries and the openings and the progress that we're seeing over there from Christian. Is Christian with us here?
I am. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for
I'm here today just to give everybody an update and say thank you, and thank you for the support that you've given the libraries, and let you know that the libraries are open and we are doing well. We opened our doors for appointments on the 15th of February. So we've been open for a little over a month now. Progress has been good. People are starting to come in. They are finding the library, discovering the library again. We have not had any problems with problem patrons. People are wearing masks. People are behaving and doing well and getting good service. We've been able to start allowing people in kind of on a first come basis, so that as they start coming in, we like for them to have an appointment, but if they don't have an appointment, we usually have some spaces, and it's okay for them to come in and walk in through the door. We do take a little bit of information. We take a name and a cell phone number just for contact tracing, but that information is destroyed 3 weeks later, due to, to hold patron privacy and that kind of thing, which is very important for us. Everything has been going great. We've gotten really great support from the county. Brian has been great, and Rooney has been great. We've been, really fortunate, and the member libraries are all opened up as well, at least to some degree, offering the same kind of service, the same kind of walk-in service. I've been using my library in Manlius quite a lot lately.
Great. So that's good to know, because when I was looking, it looked like you had to make an appointment to get in there, and then you shared with us that you can show up, and hopefully if they haven't hit capacity, you can make your appointment right at the door and come in. So that's good Good
Yeah,
news.
we're gonna be changing our marketing a little bit to make that a little clearer for folks. We wanted to do a soft opening just to make sure we weren't gonna get swamped right as we open. But it's been going so smoothly that I think it's ready for us to kind of market it up a little bit and really kind of emphasize that we're there and that we're available.
Great. And so most of them are open every day. Some are open on alternate days.
What's happened is due to some furloughs, unfortunately, there were furloughs, not layoffs. We are bringing back our staff and county's been great with that. And we're really excited about it. But because of the furloughs, we had to kind of condense our staff. So what we did is we condensed our staff down and had them kind of covering 2 different branches at once to make a pair. So it would be, you know, for instance, you'll have the White branch and the Payne branch, which are paired. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the staff is at the White branch. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're at the Payne branch. And that's also true for Pettit and Sewell, which are a pair, Beecham and Betts, Hazard and Mundy, and then Central is just open every day of the week. Now, that's obviously something we're going to be expanding out as furloughed staff are coming back in, which we're working with county in a very smooth way. And what this has allowed us to do is that we have had 0 unplanned closures throughout this process. Ever since we condensed our staff in response to the furloughs, the necessary furloughs which took place, we have not had a library closed due to a lack of staff. We've not had a library closed due to COVID exposures. And this is a really big deal. As I discussed this with other urban libraries across the state, kind of everybody's getting dinged and they're having to close. A colleague of mine down in Brooklyn, or a friend of mine down in Brooklyn, told me the last week there was a day where 6 of their locations, including their central library, were closed due to a lack of staffing or due to a COVID exposure. Our COVID exposures have been rock bottom. We've had two staff members get COVID, and they were in different departments. They got them at different times. There was not a cross contamination on it. And it's literally just been 2 staff who recovered and are currently back at work. And as I say, we've had no unplanned closures due to staffing breaks, which is actually, it seems seamless, but in response to a lot of other libraries, we've actually been incredibly fortunate that way. And it's been really, really great for our patrons.
Well, and credit to you and your staff for taking all the precautionary measures and all
Thank
that. So are there questions for Christian?
I have a question, Mary Kuhn.
Thanks, Mary.
Hi, Christian. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You had talked about having broadening the internet availability for outside the libraries for folks who maybe can't get in. Particularly, I think you mentioned at Beecham Library being able to go out as far as Sakona Park. Is that in place yet?
No, it's not in place. That's currently using federal money from the CARES Act, which is being dispersed from the state library. So we're kind of in the process of working through that whole thing. We have a local vendor lined up that I think is going to do a great job for us. And I think that when we get the funds, we'll be able to move forward fairly quickly. This is IMLS money, which is Institute of Museum and Library Services, which has a lot of kind of weird little riders on it. So we just need to make sure that we've cleared all of our hoops, and then we'll get our money, and then we'll be able to go forward from there, ma'am.
Thank you. And the other question I have is about last time you spoke with us, we were talking about the mobile library, wondering where things are with that as well.
Where things are, honestly, man, my focus has been entirely on getting us open and getting us open safely. I was able to do some research into local counties and some other counties that do have bookmobiles, and I found a really great short little Precis 1-pager kind of article that speaks about how modern bookmobiles work. And so I'll be sharing that out with you folks. I also was able to find a really interesting map that shows kind of the coverage of where the libraries are across the county. And while we have excellent coverage, particularly in the city of Syracuse, we have very good coverage. There are a couple of blind spots. There are a couple of kind of library deserts out there. And I'd like to be able to put this in context of that and share with you folks how we might be able to address some of that using this mobile library.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Deb, it's Linda.
Yes. Excellent.
Christian, thank you for being here. Did I understand you to say that Central Library is going to be open as well downtown?
Yes, ma'am. Central Library is open now. We're open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4. People are doing walk-ins. We have had our regular community. The homeless population has been coming back, as are other members, of course. But it is nice to be able to see some of our regulars back again. And when the weather was cold, we were able to provide some warmth and some shelter. And we are currently providing, care and internet access and dignity to people right now as we speak.
Good. I don't think people really know that you're open like that.
Mhm.
Christian, because I had a complaint from someone just recently about their library not being open. And I'm
I'm sorry.
thinking that marketing is really needed at this point because
I-
people are thinking you're still closed.
Yes, ma'am, I absolutely agree with you. And I think that we're at the 6-week point and I've been collecting stats. Stats have been going up progressively well. We have not seen any disruption. So I think at this point, it would be great, as you say, to start really getting it out there that we are open, and we'll be pushing that, I think. I think people are searching for normalcy. And due to the leadership of county government, vaccinations are going out. I personally feel like we're getting closer to normalcy, or at least a new normal. And I very much want the library to be part of that.
And do I understand also that all your employees will be back on the 31st? Is that correct?
Our full-time employees will be, the furloughed full-time employees will be back on the 31st or the 1st thereabouts. We're bringing them back at the beginning of the month. Our part-time employees, that's a process, and we're going through that process. We have a lot of them. We had about 100 of them when we had to shut down. Not all of them will be available. Not all the positions will be available. And of course, we also did a lot of retirements as we were looking at furloughs, as we were looking at potential layoffs back in the day, which fortunately we did not have any layoffs. But a lot of my staff chose to retire rather than be put on furlough. There's a few positions there that need to be filled in as well. So we're actively getting staff back, working very closely with county, who's working great with us. And as we fill people in, we're going to expand hours out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Other questions? So, Christian, just talk to us a little bit. I know nothing has been decided yet, but I know you've been talking,
I'm sorry, Deb, I think
Deb, you're muted.
you're muted.
sorry about that. I hit
That's okay.
something. So I know you've been talking a little bit about, with, county officials about, the possibility for some vaccine distribution, in some of the libraries. And I think, as we talked about, that would be really cool just because, it's a safe place for people to come and we can target different communities. So can you just talk for a second about that?
Absolutely. We would love to be involved in that. And we've had great buy-in from county. Brian and Ann Rooney have been really great on that. Dr. Gupta has been really great on that. We have a couple of locations that I could see us setting up vaccinations in, ASAP. Part of the process for that is going through state approval. So there's some state approval processes. There's some stuff that the county, would be needing to do. But we are very invested in this. We're very interested in this. The vast majority of our staff have been vaccinated, see the value in that, see the importance in that. And for me, I think that it would be incredible if we could have these vaccines being run out of, a local trusted establishment that people feel connected to in their community. I often feel that the libraries can provide a positive public face on government in all of its forms. And I think that would be, a really wonderful thing. We're ready to go on it. And I know that my colleagues and supervisors in county are very ready to go on it. Again, Ann Rooney has been great on this. Brian has been great on this. Ryan has been great on this. And I think that we're just, we're part of the solution and we're ready to be part of the solution. We were able to be a testing site at one point. The Mundy Library was a testing site. It went really well. I was there on site that day. I was kind of acting as ship's husband, as it were, for the library, just kind of making sure all the bells and whistles were going. It was great. We saw, I think, a little bit over 100 people that day. Tests were smooth. Community response was good. Went very smoothly. And I would like to see that modeled as we move on to vaccines and really anything that we can do to support the public health response to this crisis. That's been really inspiring.
Great. Yeah,
Deb,
I think that's
Deb,
fantastic. Yes.
it's Brian Donnelly. I just wanted to let you know the health department has been out and scoped out a few of the locations logistically.
Awesome.
We're working through some of those challenges and hope to be able to have the libraries as a vaccination site in the future.
That's very cool. Yeah, I know that's a little bit, premature because you guys are still working on it, but I just wanted to make sure everybody heard that because I think it'll be a great way to get to some of those targeted communities that we've been looking for. And again, just so convenient for people that don't want to, go too far from home and go to a place that they're familiar with. So that's great. Thank you, Brian, for that.
Maybe I can get them to check out a book while they're leaving. That's always a goal.
Yeah, awesome. Any other questions for Christian?
Yeah, Deb.
Yeah.
I just want to put a plug in. I hope that they're looking at outreach into the county. I'm not sure if I understood that they were looking at the member libraries as sites or they were looking at just the city libraries as potential sites for vaccination, but it needs to be an all-encompassing, all-county outreach in my mind.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great point. Good question.
Right now, sir, we're very targeted on the Syracuse libraries because there's a couple of populations, couple of neighborhoods that I think are big, high touch, high test issues. Also, my library, the Syracuse City Libraries, we have at least a little bit of experience this because of the testing. I can tell you though, that from taking the temperature check with the member libraries across the county, everybody's interested in this and everybody was very much on board with this. We'd like to figure out a way to do it. Some libraries across the country are doing it. It's not common, but other libraries are doing it. And we would love to be some of the people who are establishing the best practice for how this can be a community response.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing the results.
Thank you.
Yes, me too. That's great. Anything else? Okay, well, I'm gonna come down and visit you soon down there, Christian, down
Looking
at
forward to it.
any of my, our committee members would like to join me, reach out to me. We can set a time to go down and visit Christian and see, see how the Central Library is doing and the precautions that they're taking and all that. I think it would be worthwhile. So look forward to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Christian.
much. And thank you for having me today. Thank you very much
Sure.
for the support, everyone. We really appreciate the support of our leaders like you. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there is nothing more, I would like, if we're all set, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Linda. Okay, thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
Beautiful one.